Well, good morning, and good morning. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm over here trying to be all techie, right? And I did it quickly today. Click, 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 bam, bam. Okay, but I'm still gonna make it seem like I don't know what I'm doing. Well, I really don't know what I'm doing most of the time, but because I'm hoping that someone will feel sorry for me from some huge network, NBC, ABC, Fox, or CBS, and call and say, you know what? You really mean well, but we got to help you out and give you a show because you don't need to be trying to do all that tech stuff. But hey, stranger things have happened. Good morning and welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. Don't, and I know what you're thinking. Is he ever going to get that lighting right? Well, I'm not trying to up here in the Northwoods bedroom, as you can see all behind me, but I am here temporarily until Xfinity, Comcast, also known as Satan's helpers, come and rewire my modem down on the main floor with this broadbanding. I have to go straight into the modem, and I have to do it upstairs. Good morning, Mandy. Mandy, we need to talk. I think I need to try to get your coaching session in today, if possible. I had totally forgotten. You guys, I need your prayers and light and love. I didn't really spend too much time dwelling on it or even processing it last week because all steam forward was for our event. We had this past Saturday here in Illinois, where everybody came from all over the country for the Discover the Speaker and Author in You workshop, a full day interactive workshop. It was great. We had a great time. But, a week ago, this past Saturday, my brother in law took his own life. And, that's the first time that's ever happened in our family. And my sister, of course, was totally devastated, as would be expected. And then it's so many layers to it. You have the babies, you have the middle schoolers, then you have the tweens and your high schoolers, and then you have your kids that are off in college. And it's just something. So, anyway, our family starts arriving as early as tomorrow morning, so please pray that they have safe travels. And then his brother died the same day. My niece went over there, his daughter, to see why he wasn't answering the phone to give him the news about his brother. And lo and behold, Jesus, she found him. So two brothers in the same day. So one funeral on Thursday and another funeral on Friday. So obviously we need your prayers. So thank you for that. But anyway, today's guest. I hope he saw himself if he was watching on his phone the show opener, or maybe he's seen it. I certainly hope today isn't the first day he's come back to Bathrobe Moment since that fateful day. Just not even a year ago, Nick Harris was a guest here, June 20th of 19, June 20th. Excuse me, and people just love Nick, as is proven by the fact that he had nearly 1,802 to be exact last time I looked. 802 views of his show. Now, what I love about Nick is that Nick is a family man. He is a hard worker, but you don't see him running around purporting to be some big influencer or trying to make it big and come to my event or get on stages. He's almost like an urban legend, an anomaly, if you will. And let me just tell you, well, he even says himself, he considers himself an abnormal case. Don't we all? No, I mean, I consider myself an abnormal case. That's what I meant. Not that he is, but you get it. When it comes to the depths and peaks of success, like many whom can sympathize with hardships, struggles, and perseverance of being an ex addict, ding ding, that would be me, an ex addict, a single father. No, I don't have that, but sometimes I feel like a fatherless child, so that's close. And he's a single father of five beautiful children, so obviously he's fertile. I'm just saying. So, you women who are fertile, don't stand within 5 feet of this man. I'm telling you, don't do it. You see what I'm saying? He'll breathe on you, and you'll be like, "Ooh, is that my uterus?" And, he's a diamond in the rough, thank you, Jesus. And his story is a story of what it truly means to have determination and the fire and drive to turn weaknesses into various strengths. Now, there's a whole bunch more, but I'm gonna wait and get Nick in here so we can get this party started. And right now, I want you to share this out, invite people, because they're gonna enjoy this. This is a great day here on Bathroom Moments. And before Nick gets in here, let me explain this to you. This is new this season. It is called the Bell of Purpose. When I ring that bell, that means that our guest or one of you has either put something on the screen that we can get behind, like, can I get an amen up in here? Or our guest has said something that we want to let him know, oh, Nick, you dropped it off and I'm willing to pick it up. I love what you're giving. And so we let him know by hearts and all kinds of great stuff on the screen. So when you hear that, get busy dropping those emojis. So let me, without further ado, get my good friend. I say it. You hear me say sometimes, my brother from another mother, same last name, same last name. So I'm gonna get him. I'm bringing him in. He's flying across like Mike TV, right? In little pieces. Do you guys remember? I love Mike TV. Okay. So let me. Yeah, he's on the screen. Oh, and it's one thing before I open them, Mr. Nick. I apologize. I know I told you guys yesterday. I was starting my today. Keep it real with you, and I need them and apologize this morning before they pull the plug before I can even get started with them. But I love them. We're like family. I want to apologize to my friends over at symposium.us. There, I'm going to wait and let their sponsorship start next Monday. And you guys over at Symposium, because you've been so patient with me, and it's been a crazy weekend, it will continue because I don't think I'm going to have a show on. Well, I know I'm not having a show Thursday, maybe not even Friday, 'cause I'll be with family. So we're going to start the new sponsorship for Symposium.us. We're going to start that next Monday, and I'm going to give you Symposium an extra week on your contract. So how's that, huh? Value, fairness, because I love you being putting up with my antics. So we'll get that done. But this week's sponsor, I just want to say right now, I'm so wonderfully blessed and excited about this new platform here because right now we are streaming live across Facebook, YouTube, Roku, Android, Apple TV, Periscope, and of course, our home base at E360 TV Live. And I want to shout out to my good friend Joshua T. Berglund, known as the world's mayor, but he's also the host of Gratitude Unfiltered, which you can see right before Bathrobe Moment. So get up an hour early or just stop what you're doing. Make sure you pop in and say hello to my good friend Joshua T. Berglund over at Gratitude Unfiltered. And today's episode of Bathrobe Moments is sponsored by Personal Victory Counseling, where Dr. Brian Rybczynski and his team, they're always helping people become triumphant over life's challenges. You can reach them at area code 630-375-7416 or send them on the web at personalvictorycounseling.com. Okay, here we go. Nick, you are on your way across the sky right now. It should pop up at any moment. Good morning, Zinfu. Tracy, good morning. You and I have to connect. Let's see. Harris is watching on his phone. How nice. Uh, he's in the sky across a million little it's sending live. It's waiting for his body to come back together, whatever you call it, recomposite. I don't know. And it must be recomposite because when I said it, he popped on the screen. Nick, good morning.
Good morning.
What is all that rustling? Is that is your microphone all up in all that manly flannel you have?
It might be. Is it making some noise?
Either that or something's building a house in your beard. I hear a crew at work.
Is that better if I hold it away?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There. Whatever you did, right there. Not talk.
Okay. I just pulled it away from my beard.
See. Uh-oh.
It was rubbing up against my beard.
You know they have a cream for that.
Yes. I use a beard oil. It's
No,
amazing stuff.
I'm saying whatever that is in there running around like that. You brush those bugs out.
I just brushed. Do
Now you're on your laptop. I'm wondering if we can need that headset.
you want me to try taking them out?
Try to take it out just for a second.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, what is that? Oh, maybe I
Except for I can't hear you.
oh, put it back in then.
Can you hear me?
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, now I hear put it back in. Put it back in. Wait. Well, I hear a little no feedback. That mug back
Good.
because I know that audience is crazy because I'm already and hate I hate hearing myself.
Me too.
I don't even
Makes
sound.
it difficult.
Do you remember the first time you yes, there. No, okay. Do you remember oh good. Now whatever leave it like that. Say
Okay.
something.
We good?
Perfect. Do
All
you
right.
remember the first time you heard yourself recorded
Yes.
and
It's
you were like,
tough. Go ahead.
no, I'm saying, wasn't that the craziest moment in life? Because you're like, who the hell is that?
Yeah.
And I was so disappointed because I really thought I sounded like I sound to myself, to you
Hmm.
guys. And when I heard myself, I was like, oh my God, who is she? I was so pissed off. I was like, I don't, I do not sound like that. That is not my voice. But anyway, interesting to to think that the first time that happens. I know you guys can get behind that. Remember the first time you guys honestly that you heard your recorded voice, how you're like crazy, right? Nick,
Yes, sir.
how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Awesome. I want to thank you for stepping up because my original guest, Yakima Moffat, she had to postpone to another time. She's coming back though. This girl's really great. She wrote a song. She's in marketing. She wrote a song that was the background song to the TurboTax commercial that aired during the Super
Really?
Bowl. Yeah, that aired during the Super Bowl. So
Wow.
I wanted to. She's coming on to talk about that great experience and all the hoopla and all the stuff that comes along with being a Super Bowl commercial. So she'll be back, but thank you for taking her place today. She had some business she had to fly out for.
Well, those are some big shoes to fill.
Right? Mm. So what's been going on since June 20th of 19?
Wow. Well, a lot actually. A lot of work, but I've actually, through my journey,
Hmm.
and as you know, I went through a divorce and been working hard. But I also am working to. My daughter came and lived with me, so
Oh,
my daughter's living with me now, and I have a girlfriend now. I didn't have a girlfriend before, so life's kind of taken off a little bit.
I know. She's pretty and she
Soon.
showed up 5 months ago.
Yes, she did.
I know. I've been stalking you on Facebook. I know
She's
everything.
pretty amazing.
Yeah. And I mean, talk about Carol Brady. I mean, here's a story of a man named who has 5 kids of his own and all alone. So, I mean, that's a big thing to do. So, and what's it like? Because, a lot of people, especially, post new divorce, are very careful about introducing new people in their romantic life to their kids because you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
Now, your kids range in what age to what age?
So my oldest son is 13, my daughter is 12, and then I have a son that's 11, and then I have 7-year-old twins. It's a boy and a girl.
Wow. So, okay. So you did breathe between 3
Yeah.
and 4 and 5, but you made up for the break. Oh, you gonna take a break from being pregnant? Okay, now, bam, twins. How's that?
Yeah. Well, the crazy part was she wasn't even. She had complications with our third child, and then she almost died. She had to get flight for life, and my son almost died. And he was in the NICU for 2 months, and they told her she'd never be able to get pregnant again, so we didn't worry about it. And then we went to the paleo diet and kind of changed up the nutrition in the house. And not only did she get pregnant, she got pregnant with twins, and it was her healthiest pregnancy. So that shows you right there the importance of nutrition in the home.
Amen. Now your twins, boys, girls, and one of each.
Boy and a girl.
Oh, so and the others are all. Did you say it sounded like a lot of girls in that group?
So it's boy, girl, boy, girl, boy. 3
Wow,
boys, 2 girls. Yes, sir.
And they're staggered like that.
Yep.
Wow, Nick. Do you plan on having any more?
I mean, it's not in the plans, but I don't rule anything out in life. I can keep my options open there. It just depends on the situation with, you know,
With everything hitting your
yes.
girlfriend. And what is your girlfriend's name?
Chanel.
Like
Chanel Ray.
like the perfume.
Correct. Only she spells it with an SH, but yes.
Okay, Chanel. I see you, girl. So Chanel is uh the envy and also the nemesis of women all across Facebook because when people saw that you were off the market, there are a lot of girls who weren't happy with that. I'll tell you that. I heard a few rumblings myself in the background. Yeah, because they consider you, Nick, a great catch. Now, listen. I was reading some reviews from people over on Facebook from things that you've done, and people just love the fact that you always make yourself available. And the crazy part is you work a regular full time, as you refer to it as a tenured sales manager position. Tell us what that is, and what do you mean by tenured? I thought that was like an academia word.
Yeah, right. So I maybe shouldn't have put that word in there. Perhaps
I like
I've been with this company for 2 years. Um, I had a plan to never go work a job again. Well, that plan didn't really take shape. However, it's been a blessing. Um, Worked for this sales company. And it's in the wireless industry. Okay,
okay.
and so I work for an indirect sales organization for a wireless company, and I get to hire, teach, train, and build people, and that's what I truly enjoy doing. And so, if it wasn't a sales organization or wasn't a sales position, sales management position, I wouldn't be in this. I'm a network marketer as well, so and I have working on some other things. I put that I'm an aspiring author. I like to write. I like to influence people. I like to help people. And network marketing provides a great way of doing that as well. But I really aspire to be a coach. To help people transform their lives. And both the work I'm doing now, kind of, I feel like it's you know leading that way. Um, but yeah, I've had with this company, I've had some good success. In a couple weeks, I'll be going to Cozumel for a 4 night, 5 day cruise for.
So, yes. Now, can you see your phone? I just put a picture of you on the screen. Um, and that looks like you. I'm gonna guess. If I had to guess, I'm gonna say that's either. Well, it says something of millennium behind you, and I'm guessing is that Vegas or is that someplace in Europe? Are you kidding me? Is that Millennium Park? Ah, I mean, oh, sorry. Oh, watch me get booed out of town. Oh my God, how embarrassing. Okay, there you are you were in Chicago? Oh, last summer. And thank you so much for joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow with another guest, everyone. Thank you for being here to oh, I'm kidding. Um, really? So you were here, right here in Chicago and didn't tell anybody. Now let me get you back in. Let me get the real Nick back in. Here we go. Okay, there you are. Sending you back over in a million pieces. There you go. You're back on the screen. So Nick, so let's talk about this. Here you
Hmm?
are. Now we can hear you, Lauren. Oh, they didn't know what was going on. They thought Hi, Patrice Pattison Clark. How are you? So Nick,
Yes, sir.
let's talk about what you do. And I want to know because a lot of people don't know how to balance their desire to do the influencing and impacting, i.e., the coaching, the speaking. Now, and it is, and I get it because it is one of those things where it's kind of hard to do it part time and it's hard to give up everything and dive in completely. You got to make a living, you got to do these things, and it's so competitive. And there's so many people who claim, and I use that term loosely, claim to know what they're doing when it comes to coaching and all the rest of it, especially coaching. Oh, um, and so let me ask you, um, when you say you want to coach people, what exactly? Because I mean, I've had them all on here. Last week alone, the week before, I had Tracy Randolph. She's the reset coach. I had another girl. She was the happiness coach. Um, so, which one are you? What name did you? What sticker? What Chiquita banana sticker is on your forehead to tell us what kind of coach you are?
So I'm going to use my experiences. When I was struggling with drugs really bad, I've been in and out of 6 different treatment centers, 2 psych wards when I was younger. When I couldn't figure out why, I've been in and out of the program, and it wasn't clicking with me. The treatment centers didn't work. Nothing worked. And when I found personal development, I started to find out why I was struggling the way I was, or why I was making the choices in life that I was making.
Hold on. Hold that thought. You guys, can you hear Nick? Destiny says that she can't hear Nick. I don't know if that was earlier or if that's now. If you can hear Nick, well, let me see. I can turn my phone up and it'll tell me. Okay, never mind. I can hear you, Nick. Riri, quit playing, girl. I'm just playing. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, go on with your story. Just making sure. I want to make sure everybody can hear you.
Sure. So during those times of my stays in treatment, those glimpses of sobriety that I had, where I found kind of alignment with myself,
Mhm.
my inner being, even though I wasn't conscious of what my understanding of myself was back then. I always said I wanted to help those other people who have gone through struggles similar to mine, like drug addiction, um, you know, toxic relationship. Because I can't be anything that I haven't experienced. I don't want to give advice on something that I haven't lived myself or gone through myself. And so, really, my focus is my desires to help anybody, but my niche would be more involved with drugs and alcohol
Yeah.
and relationships in a way.
Okay, perfect. Now let's go back because I have a feeling. So you seem to me because you're very quiet, you're very, zen like right here. And I think you've always been that guy at the party kind of quiet sitting over in the corner,
Mm-hmm.
right? But
Correct.
you also seem like that kind of a guy that everybody knew, everybody liked, hey Nick, buddy, da 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 da. But inside in your world, it was different.
Mm-hmm.
People didn't see it. If let's just say, thank God it didn't happen. Let's just say something untowards would have happened with you during all that time, and oh my God, Nick's dead. OD taking his own life or something. Why do I have the feeling people would have been shocked for the most part? What? He was such a nice guy or whatever. But you know how sometimes it can be a horrible, tumultuous storm inside of a person and no one knows it. I don't know if I'm close, if I'm 800 miles off, but could you go back and kind of describe because you just don't fit the profile?
So, if you would have known me back then, not everybody liked me. I struggled with, again, self awareness big time. I was a big reactor to life around me. I didn't know how to. So with that, I struggled with relationships. I struggled with building positive relationships
Mhm.
early on, and it wasn't that I didn't like people or didn't want people to like me or get along with people. I was just a mess. I was just a mess. And so, like, I'll go to when me and my ex-wife split up. I went into extreme depression. Not, and it wasn't because I lost um, my wife, um, I had felt like I had lost everything again. Um, and I was at a point, yeah. So I was at a point where I thought, I spent 9 years changing who I was. I didn't keep a job. I didn't. I was never successful younger. Um, Growing up, I was raised by entrepreneurs. My grandpa had a distribution company that spread across 9 states. My parents started buying grocery stores. And so growing up, we didn't struggle with money. I wouldn't say we were super rich, but we didn't struggle with money. And I was kind of, spoiled, if you will. I didn't know what work was. My father made me work hard, but I couldn't stand him because I didn't like his advice, and everything he would say, I would see him do the opposite. And so I was questioning my parents constantly. Like I question what you're telling me here, because I don't see that lifestyle you're living. And same thing applied to religion when when we're forced to go to church and forced to I was raised Catholic, and not that matters. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but it took me breaking away from religion to kind of start finding who I am as a human or as a non-human. Like, and kind of lost track of where I was going here.
Well, let me ask you a question. Nick, there's a difference between treatment centers, that's for the drugs and alcohol,
Mhm.
right? We all get that. But talk about this thing that a lot of us don't know what it looks like. I know I picture One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Seriously. I mean, I picture a person in a what's that jacket they
Straight jacket.
backwards? Yeah, or them always trying to sedate you, and you're just sitting there kind of like this, Thorazine shuffling, or sitting in a day room where nobody knows where they're at, or whatever. What does it really look like inside of a psych ward? What does it sound like when it's time, when lights out, go to sleep? What do you hear? Does it? Why do I imagine that it's you hear all kinds of sounds and echoes and this and the other? And what does it say to you? What did it say to you when you found yourself in a psych ward? Did you think, oh my God, I'm crazy? And when you talk about it, is it the kind of thing that you like, I'd rather no one know this, but just that whole thing?
So, no, it doesn't bother me for people to know this.
Right.
I was 20 years old, 37 now. I was 20 years old when I had my first experience with the psych ward. I was actually in the Navy. Long story, I won't go. Might as well. It's been a long time. Me and a buddy, we went to a Mardi Gras down in New Orleans, and we didn't make it back on time. I was on a training command, and so needless to say, we got in trouble. Well, I had smoked pot. I had done some prescription meds and kind of blacked out. So when I got back, nothing happened right away, and then they took me in, and at that point I knew, like, I was already super depressed being in, and it's not because of the military, it was because of me. But I was worried about getting in trouble, so I told them I was going to kill myself. And part of me felt that way, but the deepest depths of me knew that I wasn't going to do that. Well, this is where I'm learning, kind of how your energy matters. So when I told them this, they sent me to the psych ward down in Pensacola, Florida, and I was up on that floor, and I was around just some normal people, some people with struggles with alcohol or drugs. But this one girl I remember really sticks out to me the most. She suffered from schizophrenia, or so they say she suffered. But when I was getting to know her, we just kind of built a bond in there. And we felt like neither one of us belonged. But what she was sharing with me, I'm like, you're not crazy at all. You're blessed. And I didn't even know what that meant at that time, but the fact that she would hear voices. And then they would just tell her, you're crazy. And nobody would believe her. Nobody would believe who she was or who she was trying to say she was. Or, I think she had extra special gifts. And here they are trying to suppress her and throw drugs down her. So my idea, and now, I mean, it has a place for people, but I think people are definitely misinterpreted in this society, and we're forced into certain situations where if we don't know who we are or why we're here or what makes us tick, we just default to, other people knowing what's best for us. So my experience there, me and her built a friendship. We started helping other people within the psych ward.
Okay.
That's when they split us, moved me to to a different psych ward on the military base. Well, in that one, that's when I was with a bunch of veterans that did have serious cuckoo. Like there was definitely problems. That one opened my eyes. It didn't scare me. I didn't. Nobody put me in. Nobody shot me up with the shots or anything. But I watched that happen to a guy. I watched a lot of this happen. So it was a really interesting experience. But it opened my eyes to realize that I don't belong there. But there's a lot of people that do. But also, it was it made me sad how human beings are just, I know what they do to themselves and what's done to them, when they're sick. Right. But they discharged me. I was trying to lift people up. And again, I was 20 years old. I hadn't gone through personal development or spiritual life. So the inside of me, I was still me, right? My conscious and this human body didn't know who I was. But like I could feel people around me. I could feel their feelings, their energies there. And so I literally, Loren, I tried to help as many people as I could in there, and they kicked me out. They kicked me out, charged me with malingering, which was another charge. Because they said I was lying. I wasn't suicidal. I was just trying to get out of trouble. Okay. And if I have to be honest, they're probably right. But that experience opened my eyes, and I still remember it today. And I'm not ashamed of being in there now. I ended up getting out of the military, coming back to Nebraska, and I got into really bad alcoholism. I was drinking a lot, and I didn't have a job, and then I ended up a month later going into a treatment center. So right out of 2 psych wards, discharged from the military. Right before I was discharged, I got robbed. I had all my stuff packed in my car. This guy had asked for a ride from a gas station, and I said, "Sure, I'll give you a ride." And then he mentioned a drug, and I'm like, "Oh, really? What are the chances you I just happened to be in a vulnerable spot?" I went with him to his apartment, and they held knives to me, stole my vehicle, all my clothes, all my pictures, everything I possessed was taken, never recovered. I jumped off a 3rd-story balcony, about got an old man a heart attack in the basement because I went pounding on his door, went up in his apartment, told him to call the cops. I literally went to his room and hid in his closet. It was quite interesting. And then the cops came, and they didn't believe me. They thought I traded my car for crack, because that's what the guys upstairs told them. They told me to walk back to base so they would call and I would get in trouble. And so, in life, I was trying to figure out, why is it always me? Why me? I can't be doing this all to myself. And so I was even more depressed. I came back to Nebraska. I was drinking 2 bottles of scotch a night. I'm surprised I didn't die. I was literally banging my head. When I would get drunk, I was, beating myself up, slamming my head against a dumpster like somebody else was doing it, like a crazy guy would. I probably belonged in a psych ward at the time. I was just not healthy, and I was crashing on my parents' couch, and they gave me 2 options: be homeless or go to treatment. And they would pay for it. I'm like, well, that's a no-brainer. Don't want to go to treatment, but I don't want to be homeless, right? So that was my first taste of treatment, first taste of kind of somewhat of any kind of self awareness, or just kind of looking into myself. And as it kind of gradually went on, I ended up in and out of sobriety. I ended up, 3.5 years at one point. And then I used to go to this program, I'm going to say it on here, and the people around there, I didn't necessarily relate to, because I started to believe that I was holding a lot of excuses for myself, and allowing a lot of the bad to keep happening to me because of what I was holding on to. And And when I would go down there, I would just hear, and I was in a small town, but I would just hear like bitching and complaining. Like, how can we promote sobriety and a happy life when all we're doing is complaining, complaining, and complaining? So I used that as an excuse to stop going. And then, obviously I was married at the time, and our marriage was really toxic, super toxic. And I got obsessed at one point. That was my 3 years. I got obsessed with at one point with. I was on my. I was at that time. I had this version of God that was what I was taught, and that's fine. I found out it doesn't matter what my idea of God is. It was the acts I was doing and the behaviors I was doing that changed, how I was feeling. And I started. Somebody told me to get on your knees every morning and thank God you're awake. And at the end of every night, thank God that you made it through the day. And that was when I was struggling. And then it became thanking God for those around me, thanking God for the blessings, my job. I started to find gratitude, and I found that to be the solution to all my problems. Was gratitude, love and gratitude. But it was my actions that were doing it. So I was able to find sobriety through being grateful and doing for other people. And then I fell off. Marriage got really bad. I started drinking heavily again. And that just kind of continued until we ended up splitting. It was about 4 years of this vicious cycle. And the kids were feeling it. But then I left it, and then I moved in with my boss at the time. And that was the first man who's truly held me accountable to my own actions. He wouldn't let me play the role of a victim. He wouldn't let me blame anybody or anything for my problems, and he made me face them head on. And I remember standing in his office. I was working for a marketing company. I remember standing in his office, screaming in his face because he wouldn't listen to me. He would just sit here and tear me down. He goes, "I'm not tearing you down. You need to stop being a victim. You need to stop being a victim." And he just kept, and it continued until about a year and a half later. I moved to Denver, and it took about 2 weeks. Something happened. I picked up the phone. I called him, and I thanked him for everything he did for me. Even though I thought I couldn't stand him at the time, what he did for me was changed my life. I'm kind of, I don't know if I'm on track here. I'm kind of all over the place, but
No,
that's what. Good.
let me turn you down for a minute while I talk. I wanted to ask you two things, and then you pick it back up and run with it. Because you're doing a great job. First of all, I know a lot of people are probably wondering. I know I am as I listen. I've asked myself 3 or 4 times, wow, I'm shocked, or said to myself, I'm surprised he didn't kill himself. Number one. Number two, why do I get this feeling that you, through all your hardships and all through your journey, and there are people out there that can relate to this because I believe it applies to you as well. You've got me thinking about all the times when it applied to me. Nick, what do you attribute the fact that you've had so many people down the course of the years when they had every reason in the world to legitimately say, get the fuck on, get the hell out of my space, I'm done with you, but something about you or something about what was going on with you compelled people not to give up on you. I have a feeling that you probably even tried to make people give up on you, and it just didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Like this guy that you're talking about now. What is that, and why do you think that happens to some people?
He saw something in me that I couldn't see in myself yet. There's something, and I've asked myself this. I literally tried killing myself on drugs. I used to shoot up. I had needles in my arm for 9 months straight. I went with a month without eating, a month without drinking. I was literally drawing no blood out of my veins. None. There's 3 guys that literally started shooting me up with water. How my heart didn't explode, I have no idea. Why I'm still here, I have no idea. I mean, I have a better idea now, but at the time I had no idea. When I I too many examples, and we all got them, but too many examples of me literally trying to kill myself, and it didn't happen. I was in Lincoln, Nebraska, shot up an 8 ball, was laying on the ground. The next thing I remember, I was looking down at my body. And I was thinking and I remember telling myself it's about time. And then I was like, how am I thinking if I'm looking at my body? No rhyme or reason. I don't know. And the next thing you know, I came back into my body and was standing up. And I turned to the girl that was with me. I said, let's go. We got to go. I got in the car. We drove back to where I was living, which was Norfolk, Nebraska at the time. And I started, so we were running from the cops, okay? That's why we went to Lincoln. We took all the back roads, and then I found a microphone in my heater. Now, this is a 1960s apartment, so I found a microphone, brand new computer chip on my old-fashioned heater. I took that out, went down to the neighbors who just got arrested for a drug bust, threw it in his lap. I said, what's this? I had told the girl at the time, I said, pack this room up, we're out of here. And we took off, and we did it all. That's when I thought I was dead. Came back. I was literally, it's hard for me to say because it just seems not real. I was visualizing every move we made for the next 2 days. I saw every vehicle before I saw it. I could tell when there was an FBI suburban station over here. I was literally giving her direct of where these people were, what they were doing, how soon somebody's going to come knock on my door. I was literally calling everything. I called my dad. I said, come pick me up. I need treatment. That's when I knew something different was happening. Like, how was I able to sense this?
So wait a minute.
Why was I not picked up? Everybody around me was. Why did I not die? And then it's almost like I was more blessed afterwards.
Wait, so you're saying when you were feeling all these things and seeing all these things and predicting all these things in advance, that was really happening. That wasn't some form
that was really happening
of drug-induced or paranoia or schizophrenia, or this really was happening.
I couldn't believe it. She couldn't believe it. To this day, me and her, she was pregnant at the time, shooting up.
What?
Not with my kid. She was pregnant. We were just friends. She now has a healthy boy. She's married and lives a wonderful lifestyle. I'm living my life. We're the only two that made it out of the group that we ran with.
Wow.
Two others are dead. Two others are dead. The others are in prison.
Male and female.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you two ever talk about this? The fact that you were the two that made it out?
I haven't talked to her in years. But the last time I did talk to her, I just wanted to make sure she was good and her son was good. That's when I ended up. I moved back to the town my parents were in. I got back into treatment. I left 2 weeks later, went back to shooting up. A month later, I went back into treatment. I ended up getting 2 years sober. I haven't touched that since. But it wasn't the treatment centers that did it. So I sat down, and it was actually with what was going to be my wife. I sat down with her. We did some drugs together. I was sitting there. I looked at her. I said, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done. I made the choice that I was done. It didn't take any other thing to fill that void. I had made the choice within me that I was done. It was the easiest quit I have ever done. That's when I learned the power of choice.
That's right. We choose our way in, and we choose our way out or not. And that's true. Let me ask you this. How does it feel now when you flip back through the pages and you see all the time and everything? Because this is an important component. A lot of people will get to the point where you are, even where I'm at, and they start flipping through those previous pages, and they feel like, look at all the wasted, look at all the lost, look at all as if it didn't serve a purpose. Now, I know in your bio you say you're an aspiring author, so you're going to do some writing. Another word that I underlined in your bio was abundance. Another word, or hyphenated words, that I underlined in your bio were self evolution. And so I want you to talk about today why you feel everything you experienced had to be. And what does it provide you today that to give to others that if you had not lived it, you would not know it? What, what, and what again?
Well, the depth of who I am, I learned. I was very superficial, a very surface level most of my life. The darker the times got, the darker the times got, the more in tune spiritually I got. Now,
Uh-huh.
with that, I wouldn't have had, I wouldn't. A, we talked about this from the start. I can't give advice to something I've never done or experienced myself. I would choose not to. Maybe I could. Maybe I could go to college, learn a few things, and go tell people. And I'm not judging that. But for me, if I'm going to a counselor, I want to make sure that counselor's experienced what I've experienced and they come out the other end. If I want to learn how to become, let's keep it this way, a millionaire, I need to hang around millionaires. I need to learn from the millionaires, the people that have done it, right? And so all these experiences for what I aspire to be, and I've aspired to be an author since I was a little child, ever before I ever struggled. Um, Without those experiences, what am I? I'm empty. I
I
have
like
nothing
that.
to give, right? I believe, that the people that have gone through the darkest times and come out of it turn out to be the lightest, brightest stars in the world.
Amen. The deeper the pain, the louder the voice.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I say. Now, listen, and because we're getting into the man, it's just gone by. We have about 6 minutes left, and I want to ask you this before we get out of here because I feel compelled to. So, final question, Nick. Did you ever feel that you were in a battle of some sorts with something over your literal life?
I battled a lot over my literal life, but beliefs that were pounded into me as a young child. Yes, societal beliefs. I did that. So religion didn't make sense to me. I couldn't. The when I was getting taught this stuff, I couldn't figure out. I would ask why. Why is that? How is that?
Hmm.
Nobody could give me any answers.
Hmm.
It was just believe it. Believe it. I can't
Because you
blindly
told you
believe
to.
this.
Because they
Right.
said so. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And in my heart, I felt something different. My mind would say, they're right, that you got to believe them. They're your boss, they're your teacher, they're whatever. But in my heart, I'm like, this isn't right. And when I see people say certain things, you talk about those coaches that are out there um, that claim to be that, when I hear one thing and see another, it, I don't like that. I don't respect that. And I don't want to be that. So being able to be self-aware today and not have to battle everybody and everything and everybody's thoughts or beliefs, they're their own. That's fine. If it works for
Yeah.
them, great. If not, great. Like, I don't judge it anymore.
Right.
But just
Right.
being able to know who I am, that I have a purpose here on earth, that we're all here for on purpose, and we're blessed to be here. It took me that realizing that this is not a curse to be here. I begged to come here to experience the contrast that life has to offer, to be able to feel. I mean, everything we do in life is to strive to feel better. When I was doing drugs, I just wanted to feel better. I didn't know how to do it regularly.
Hmm.
Nobody was there to help me. Or maybe they were, and I just wasn't here, and it wasn't my time yet. I needed to experience the dark. I did. I don't regret any of my past. I regret some of the hurt I've caused to other people. I mean, but I don't regret my past. It's a blessing. It truly is, and I owning that today, and it helps me make better choices for my life and for others,
Yeah.
and to be a better father for my kids, and to show them a way, that was maybe what I didn't agree with, how I was raised to raise kids.
Sure.
So I hope that answers your question.
It did. And I know I said final question. I'm notorious for making that comment 10 times before I'm really finished. So here comes the second final question. Ah, um, I want to know because this is a big deal in my journey. It was a big component. It still remains today a big component that I speak to people about, and I know it had me totally screwed up in my head. The perception of it, and once it made sense to me, it changed everything. And I want to know if you ever think about this yourself. And what I'm speaking to is the difference between for so much of my existence, I was running. It felt like I was running from something. Not always something I had done. Sometimes that feeling of being chased,
Yeah.
that panic, that fear, like leave me alone, get away from me.
Hmm.
Why is this? What I don't want this inside. I really don't, but I somehow can't stop it from continually happening over and over. Why am I attracting this? Why? And then there is a difference between running from something as opposed to running towards
Hmm.
something. And so a lot of people, I believe, don't I believe you're going to be in forward motion regardless because that's direction of time, right? You can't
Right.
stand still because the sun is still going to rise. You can still lay in bed, but the day is still going to pass. So just staying in one spot doesn't stop forward motion or more momentum. So it was because things kept moving forward, something happened in my mindset that changed me from moving forward because I was running or being chased into moving forward because I decided to run towards something
I love that.
because expectancy was missing when I was running from. I didn't expect shit. And if
Hmm.
I did, I expected more of the same,
Hmm.
which was fear based, which was false evidence. Everything was based on false evidence. I tell people today, they go, well, you don't seem, it just started with my husband, Brian. I remember, I think it was when we found out, oh, I'm going to go to Munich, Germany to do this TED talk. And we are doing our happy dance because we celebrate all the great things. Like, yeah, I can't believe it. Oh my God. We do. We really do. And it wasn't because my knee was bad, which now I am on my way to being the first male rocket, but that's another show. Um,
Awesome.
thank you. But I'll never forget it. We were jumping around and he just stopped and he looked at me and he goes, honey, you don't seem as excited as you usually are. And I said, oh, I am. I said, but something new is happening in my spirit. I don't believe that I'm any less excited. I believe that I have become more expectant. It's like when you order something from Amazon and they send you the reminder, your order has shipped. So tomorrow, and it tells you when
Hmm.
it's coming. So when the doorbell, it says it's going to be delivered by 9 o'clock tonight. When the doorbell rings at 7:30, and I go and I peek through the little window and no one's out there, I'm not shocked. What the hell? I don't say that. I open the door and look right down because I am expecting this thing to be delivered. And that's the difference in my life today. I expect miracles. I expect blessings. I don't expect doom and gloom anymore. I don't
Right.
expect because I know that there are no things as mistakes.
Right.
I know that everything that happens in my world is purposeful and that it is considered a blessing or a miracle that is in the process of making. It is becoming. Like I am becoming everything you were in that ward with that girl when you were in the pokey, the Navy, and all the other times. And this applies to all of us. Wherever you were there on your way here. Everything good that we offer today it's on our way to us, on its way through us.
Mm.
It's on its way to us because when we get it, it's now to give away the 80/20 rule.
Hmm.
So I just want to encourage everybody and thank you, Nick. I love it because you are not what people would expect when it comes to being a person who is dedicated inside and out, from top to bottom, bottom to top, side to side, corner to corner, and corner to corner, dedicated to improving the lives of others as a result of the experiences you have been forced to live. And so that's what I love about having you on. That's what I love about watching you. And that's why I feel that the space in my life is much more complete today. It has been ever since you found your way into my space. And that's the truth.
And I thank Joshua T. Berglund for introducing me
Oh
to
boy.
you. Yes,
Ah,
he's amazing. But
yes, he
I
is.
truly love and admire you, Loren. I really, really, really do. You're
And
my
I feel
favorite
the
person to
same.
follow.
Oh, thank you. Nick,
Of
I love
course.
you, man. I love it. And when people want to get to know more, maybe they want to continue this dialogue in a more private zone with you. Where do they go to find you and see all things Nick Harris?
Well, you can find me on Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook. Instagram is underscore the Nick Harris. On Facebook is Nick Harris, and LinkedIn is Nick Harris. And I also have my Facebook page, Nick Harris.
Nick Harris.
So
That
just
says it all.
look for Nick Harris, you'll find me.
Well, thank you. I know let's not wait as long as we did June of last year, June 20th to be exact. Here we are today on the 18th of February. Let's get together at least a couple more times before the year turns. Can
Let's
we
do it.
agree on that?
Yes, sir. And I apologize. I wanted to come out to Chicago actually for your event. I want to attend one of those this year. I want to come see you. And I'll be in Vegas in 2 weeks, by the way. So if you're out
Nice.
in Vegas, let me
I
know.
wish. I wish. Let me tell you something. We're gonna make it out there. That's the thing we try to do at least every other year. But we got so much on our plates this year. Don't worry. Hi, Troy. That's everybody. Troy Rokes just showed up. He is with Symposium.us. And Troy, I already told everybody that Symposium is my new sponsor, and I'm giving you guys an extra week on your contract because I'm going to start you Monday because I want to build up to it. So don't panic when you look on the screen and still see Personal Victory Counseling, even if I am married to Personal Victory Counseling. I'm not showing any favoritism. So thank you, everybody. And Nick Harris, you are a wonderful person making a wonderful difference in this wonderful world. I can't wait till you come back. Have a blessed day. Love up on those 5 kids of yours. And next time, maybe you can let your new girlfriend pop in so we can see her in the flesh.
Sure thing. Thank you for having me on again, Lauren. I'm
You're welcome.
grateful.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Have a
guys.
blessed day. Thank
You
you,
as well.
Nick. Thank
Thank you.
you. Okay, that was Nick Harris, everybody. Great time, and thank you all. You really stayed around, and that is not a surprise because Nick just has that thing, doesn't he? He just has that thing that makes you just lean in, and ask yourself, um, you know, am I as you? And what I love about him, no matter what, he still is moving forward. He's not waiting until he has a green screen. He's not waiting until he's written the book. He'll say aspiring. I am gonna this and I am in the process of that. That is what evolving is. It is a constant flowing process. Do what you need to do today to proclaim and speak your destiny into existence, just like Nick Harris and so many others. I just want to say thank you. I'm sorry for keeping you over a little bit, but where purpose is involved, it's on purpose. And no matter what we deal with, remember this: if you get up from wherever you have fallen with purpose, it's because you were there on purpose. So take it, and take it again. Give it away, and I will see you guys back here. Not tomorrow, not tomorrow, but I will see you back here. When will I see you back here? Probably. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know. What's today? Tuesday? Won't Yeah, it'll probably be Friday. I'm gonna try to do Friday because I got this thing with my family. And you guys, please, 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 um, pray for our family and serious, especially the young kids and stuff. For those of you out there who have dealt with suicide, and you know what I'm talking about, we have never dealt with this in our family, and it is a real tough cookie to crumble. Let's just put it that way. So, with that, God bless you. We love you and we love what you're doing. We'll see you soon. Oh, thanks, Nick. Thank you. Thank you so much, my friend. Have a great, great day.